So in this section we want to talk about how you support yourself, because so far an awful lot of the attention has been on how you look after the person with dementia and how you're supporting them and their needs, but also you've got a huge amount of needs yourself, and I think we've experienced that ourselves, and even very, very practical physical things like your physical health, making sure that you're eating properly, that you're getting some exercise, that particularly if you're lifting people, that you're not damaging yourself, damaging your back,
That's where community physio and community occupational therapists come into play, making sure that your GP sent them out to do an assessment so that you're doing things and that you've got all the aids that you need.
And equipment,
and adaptations to the home, because that's really important, that they're safe around the home. So making sure that the home is safe for that person and that you've got the support you need in order to do things safely is really important.
Well, you can even get things like sliding sheets to go on beds, so moving people in and out of bed is really easy to do now. And other things like incontinence pads and wipes and gloves and aprons. You might need all those sort of things to keep you free from infection.
And where would be the best, would again this be the starting point with the GP or with social care?
Yeah, I think there would be a link.
Certainly. And GPs will send people out to you. Okay. So with Mum I had the community physio and the community OT, and the OT gave me, or occupational therapist gave me, the ability to know that what I was doing was safe. Because I think as a carer often you suffer a lot from thinking, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the best for someone? Am I doing the right thing? Am I ensuring this person's safety? Have we got everything we need? They all laughed at me because they said that Mum needed a chair with arms. So stupidly, to get up from the dining table. So it was a dining chair. So stupidly, I went out and bought, with Mum, we chose it together, a very expensive designer chair which is completely clear plastic. And they went, "You got your mum a clear plastic chair?" I went, "She likes it, we've put a cushion on it." And they went, "Yeah, but for someone with dementia, clear plastic is like this."
You can't see it.
I know exactly, it's called the ghost chair. So I suffered for ages thinking, oh God, look what I've done now. So you do make mistakes. Honestly, it's fine. Own them. It's okay. We coped with it. I put a blanket on the chair. That sorted it out. But I hadn't even considered it. And I think there are things that you'll do which will be wrong and which don't. And often you beat yourself up and think, oh my God, I've made things worse, or I've chosen the wrong thing, or I've done the wrong thing. I think being kind to yourself is really important, because you're doing a good thing. You're looking after someone. It's hard work, and it's mentally and physically stressful. And I think whatever support you've got in place, you need that support. The one thing that I always wanted was Respite Care, which doesn't really exist anymore.
Sadly not.
And if you've got the finance, you can send someone to a care home maybe for a week or something. But if you haven't got that, it's very difficult. But there are things available for carers, and I know some areas have vouchers so that you can get some kind of help.
Get a night away.
And Alison was talking earlier about things that we've got locally, which...
So more Pamper Sessions, to make you feel a bit more human again. Haircuts, nails. And also some really lovely support groups where carers can meet and have coffee or lunch together, and somebody will go into the house and just relieve them for those couple of hours.
Because it can be really socially isolating, particularly if you're a full-time carer, and to just be around other people who've gone through similar things, to just unburden, to share, sometimes to get tips and strategies, but often it's just that sense of we're going through the same process
and
you're
to be
not
yourself.
Alone. Yeah, absolutely. And just like, different areas of the country do have different things, so there can be all sorts of things around you. So you need to look at what your local council has available, and go online and look at Lancaster County, Lancaster.gov or whatever, or Edinburgh, or wherever you are. Just consider where you are and think, okay, so what is there locally? what support is there for carers, and I think it's important to access that.
And sometimes there will be something like local voluntary groups can be really helpful. You know, things like we talked about, Carers Trust, Carers UK, Age UK. There's often either national organisations or local organisations that.
But Age UK and the Alzheimer's Society, they have helplines. And also, if you go online and look for the numbers, they're really helpful. And they often have Facebook groups and all sorts of things that you can get involved
join in.
and just join in the chats and just there's somebody else to talk to. And if, for example, you're at home and you can't get away, having an online support group can be as useful as a face-to-face one. Because it is important that you have someone to talk to.
And increasingly those online communities can be fantastically good support systems. You know, particularly if your body clock starts to get very out of sync and you're up in the middle of the night, and you know, it can be a real period of stress, of anxiety. A lot of people can develop depression when they're caring for people just because of that huge mental stress. The fact that usually our people are also up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, or local groups can
I
be
think now
really...
the supermarkets are open 24/7. I gather there's quite a meeting at times in those.
People get dressed up.
Yeah,
go out to the shops. But I think it's something where now with the distance of time, where I'm reflecting back on it, it's sounding quite negative, and I do want to say that I look back on that time. I didn't probably at the time, as that's so valuable that I've done that. I feel good that I've done that. And I feel that although it was stressful and although I had lots of times where I felt at my wit's end, actually I'm glad I did it. And it's made me a better person. No, it really has. And I think, and it's taught me so much. And I think it's hard at the time to think like that. But there are moments of joy as well. My mum used to call them moments of felicity. And there really are.
Yeah, I remember the late night conversations with my mum, and we were reminiscing, and they were really nice, and we just hadn't had that space for quite a long time, and you know, we'd both been busy, and you're right, there can be those moments of joy in amongst, you know, and it's easy to think this is just a chore, it's just a slog, it's just a giving of energy, but it can be a very rewarding space as well. And I think asking for help, you know, the better we can get at asking for help and just saying, I'm struggling a little bit here, because there often are people around, either in family or friends or social circle or volunteer groups or organisations who are there to help, but their first step is they need to know that you need some help.
And it doesn't come naturally to many people.
No.
It doesn't come naturally to me to ask for help, I have to say, but actually it's really important to go, I've hit my limit, I can't cope anymore and I need some help.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I hope you found this really helpful. We would love any of your feedback. We'd love comments, we'd love suggestions, and we particularly hope that this has helped support you as a carer and give you some practical tools, some strategies, and even just some greater understanding of some of the issues you'll face. So thank you very much.
Thank you.